About 4 days ago, I fell and twisted both of my ankles. Any books that I mention or talk about will be on the screen here. Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Ashley. I usually do not do the mid-year book freakout tag, but I wanted to do it this year. I guess this has been around for like years and years and years, and I went back and I found that Earl Grey Books and Read Like Wildfire are the original creators of this tag. It's kind of morphed a little bit over the years and people have changed bits and pieces. So the questions that I have, I believe, are the most original. I'm not sure. We're just gonna go with what I got written down. I wrote this down a while ago, so I'm not even really sure anymore, but let's go through these questions. The first question is best book you've read so far this year, and that is hands down gonna be The Women by Kristen Hanna. This was a book that I literally just finished reading and my second 5-star read of the year. Definitely the best book I've read so far. I loved it so much. I don't know how people can say that they don't like this book or like Kristen Hanna's writing, because this was so good. It was very intense. Question number 2 says best sequel so far, and honestly, I have not read any sequels. I'm in the middle of 14 series. I haven't worked on hardly any of them. Of the ones that I have, there's only a graphic novel series and then the Fudge series that I read to my daughter. In choosing between the two, I would go with the Fudge series. We read all 5 books of the Fudge series by Judy Blume, and it was very nostalgic for me. I read those when I was a kid and I read them all to her, and they're just funny stories about these 2 brothers. And so yeah, best sequel so far because I haven't read any others. Question number 3 is new release that you haven't read but really want to. And for this one, I'm going to say Mystery Royale by Caitlin Cavalencia. I actually did start this book and I only read the first chapter, and it ended up getting put down and taken back to the library. But from what I had read just in that part so far, I was loving it. Like, there was a blurb from Emily J. Taylor on the back. She wrote Hotel Magnifique, which I really enjoyed. And I was just really loving the feeling and the atmosphere of this book. And so now I'm constantly thinking about it. I need to go back and finish it. And I haven't got a chance to do that yet, but that is one I really want to read. Question number 4 is most anticipated release for the second half of the year. And I have a list of those that are highly anticipated, and I really didn't have a whole lot on the list, but there is one that I was like, I can't wait till that comes out, and that's a great question. I'd love to tell you. If any of you do not know, this is a nonfiction book written by Elise Myers, who is like a comedian, I believe. She just posts real life scenario and discussion about her life on videos. I watch them on Facebook, and she's hilarious, but so relatable. She has such truth in her talk, and I can't wait to read the book. So that is a nonfiction book that I am really hoping to read in the near future. I believe it comes out in October. Question number 5 is biggest disappointment. And I think for this one, I'm going to go with a Vengeance by Riley Sager. This was my first Riley Sager book, and I read this for the Sleep When I'm Dead book club. I have 2 other Riley Sager books on my shelf, but I have not read one yet. I know he's a very hit or miss author, and a lot of people do like his books, and there are some that really love some books, and there's some of his books that they still really don't like, and this one is not getting the love. And so I realize that I'm not writing him off, but I did expect to like this book a little bit more for it being from Riley Sager. I was bored, kind of. And I don't know if it's just because of the writing in the book, like the plot. This one is like an Agatha Christie retelling, and so that's an older style mystery book author. So I don't know exactly, but it sounds like I'm not the only one who was disappointed with this book. I am looking forward to reading some more, but I'm definitely have some hesitancy there now. Question number 6 says the biggest surprise. And I think for this one, I'm going to go with The Perfume Collector by Kathleen Tesaro. And this is a book that I was kind of like voluntold to read. I have a couple friends locally that we each picked a book and we're kind of swapping them. And this was my friend's book that she chose. I got to read it first. It's a historical fiction, and I like historical fiction, but I just really wasn't sure about this one. I was like, oh, I'll probably like it. Well, I ended up really liking it. That was my first 5-star read of the year. So I was really surprised about how much I liked it. Question number 7 is new favorite author, and I really don't have an answer for this one. A lot of the books that I've read for myself, over half of them, a majority of them have been authors that I've already read from before or already knew that they were a favorite author before this year. So like there are a few options of new authors, but I've only read one book by them. So I don't really know if they're going to be a new favorite author, but I was thinking maybe Annabelle Monaghan, she might end up being a new favorite author. I read Summer Romance, I think last year, and I really liked it. I think I gave it 4 stars, but I still think about it. I just read It's a Love Story, and that one was okay. Definitely not my favorite of the 2 that I've read by her, but those are the only 2 I've read. And I hear she has some other pretty decent reads. I have, I think, one other book by her on my shelves, so she may end up being a favorite author, but otherwise, I haven't had too many options to choose from for that question. Question number 8 is newest favorite, your newest book boyfriend. I don't know, something along those lines. A lot of people recently have been changing that question to their most favorite couple in the book because we don't do book boyfriends, and I really don't either. So I went ahead with changing that question to my newest favorite relationship this year. And, you know, that question, people have been saying couple or relationship. And so I understand that like people are thinking romantic relationship, but I actually decided to go with a relationship that wasn't a romantic relationship, but the friendship in the women. So Frankie is our main character, and she has 2 friends that she met when she was serving in the Vietnam War, Barb and Ethel. And that little friend group is like, I loved it so much. I really loved the type of friends that they were and how they were there for each other. And so I haven't really read too much romance this year so far. And so I didn't really have a couple that I wanted to highlight, but that friend group, that's going to be my answer for this question. Next question is book that made you cry. And I'm not an emotional reader. I don't cry easily at all. I very rarely cry. I think I only have like less than 10 books that I've ever actually cried tears at, but I actually have had one so far this year, and again, that is The Women by Kristen Hanna. My friends that were reading it, they were like, oh, I cried like 4 or 5 times throughout the book, and I didn't. I held it together most of the time until one part, and that one made me cry. And that was a part where she was going to see a plane of prisoners of war and they were coming home and seeing their family. That got me. Homecomings always get me anyways, but that one made me cry. Question 11 is book that made you laugh or made you happy. And I'm going to say It's a Love Story by Annabelle Monaghan, because even though I didn't really love that book, I really loved the love interest's family. I am sorry if the angle has changed at all, but the storage on my phone was full and had to unload it. I think I was just saying that I love the family of the main character's love interest. Definitely made me laugh. So 2 more questions. Question 12 is most beautiful book that you have bought so far. I am going to see if I can find some pictures of the naked hardcovers of these, but I purchased the Belladonna trilogy. The books with the dust jackets are very pretty too, but when you take the dust jackets off, they are gorgeous, and I had to have them. I do hope to read them soon, but I don't even care if I don't, because I love the naked hardcovers so much. Last question. What needs to be read before the end of the year? And at first I was just like, I don't even know, like there's everything. But I did come up with a few. So I would like to finish A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series, the Yada Yada Prayer Group series, and finish rereading the Harry Potter series. These are all ones that I am actively this year have read something from, and I would like to finish those. And then I was like, well, also, I would like to read A Game of Fate, which is the second in the whole Hades and Persephone saga. Maybe also A Touch of Ruin, which is books 2 of both. So confusing to me. And then I would also like to start Binding 13 series, at least start it. And then I would like to read at least one book by Abby Jimenez and Sarah Adams, because I have multiple books by both of those authors on my shelves and I've yet to read either one. So I would like to read something by them. So anyways, that is all I have for you today. Hopefully you've stuck around. I am having troubles getting everything done with my phone filling up, but I think we've got it all now. If you have made it this far, please leave me some sort of emoji down below, maybe like a firework. Thanks for watching. I will see you next time. Bye.